Hello, Gareth. Nice
Hi
to meet you.
there,
I'm a
and you
huge fan
too.
of your work. I'm Ivan from Spain, a content
Hey,
creator. I talk about movies. The creator, Rogue One or Godzilla. Your CGI always feels very real, like very integrated in the movie. But this time you're
thank you.
shooting on 35 millimeter film. So what
Wow.
were the challenge bringing the dinosaurs back to life using that format? Because I guess it was like CG, right? And also, which dinosaur was like the hardest to animate?
Yeah, I mean, shooting on film, to me personally, it's no different. Like, as in terms of making the CGI work. If anything, it's probably a bit easier because all you're trying to do when you do CGI is make it look real and good. And film obviously looks real because you're shooting real things, and it automatically
Mm,
looks good. It's look to be honest, it's better than digital. And
mm.
so you're starting from a really strong place. And so it made life easier, I think, in post-production. Obviously, there's technical issues, but they're easily solved. And so in terms of which was the hardest dinosaur to animate, I didn't animate them myself, so I'm talking on other people's behalves,
Yeah.
but I think the hardest one for us to figure out, well, the hardest one technically is probably the Mosasaurus because it has to go through the water, and water is
Oh,
really, really hard.
yeah.
And that was the biggest challenge on the movie is like, how are we going to do water? Because water can look really false when it's
Yeah.
done in computer graphics. And there's sort of geniuses that worked on the film that were like, don't worry, we got it. Like we're on it. And you think, okay, good luck. And I remember when we were filming, they sent through a clip. They did a little test, and it was incredible. And I sent it on to David Koepp, the writer of the movie, and he just texted back, "Oh, cool." Like no big, like he didn't have a big reaction. And I thought, "Oh, okay. Well, that was a bit underwhelming." And then suddenly, like a day or two later, I get this text going, "Holy shit! I just realized this is a Mosasaurus," and he thought it was a clip from the internet. He thought I
Oh,
had filmed, like, just sent him a clip of someone filming on a boat of a whale, and then he realized it was our boat, and it was CGI, and everything was CGI, and he
yeah.
couldn't believe it. And so, in a weird way, that was higher praise than the other way around. So yeah, I mean, those guys nailed it. I think when you see the film, it's absolutely impossible to tell when it's real water or not. They did an amazing job.
Exactly. And Rebirth feels like Jurassic Park, but on steroids. Like the tension, the violence, the scale. Also, like it feels sometimes like a horror movie, like because there are so much action, so much tension. It's wild. So, what was the most challenging scene to shoot? Like maybe with the actors or.
I mean, the actors would tell you the hardest thing. The family that are in the movie that do that scene with the T-Rex and the river raft,
Mm.
they that was hardest for them because they were freezing. The water was beautiful and warm in Thailand, and then we did the rapids in England, and it was
Oh,
ice cold, and they were getting hypothermia. And so they were literally shaking. And it was horrible because I had to keep going up to them and asking them to do another take and dive in again. And they wanted to kill me. And I was like, I kept saying to them, like, I feel bad. I'll dive in with you. And then I'd take my glove off and it'd be freezing. And I'd put my glove back on and say, no, actually, I'm not going to do that. So like they really suffered for that sequence. But every sequence had its own little challenges. We shot in real location, so it was a bit crazy. It was like we went on the journey the characters did a little bit.
to sum up, like Steven Spielberg is the executive producer here. Did he give you
Mm.
any guidance or feedback during the process? Because he has a lot of experience in Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think the best advice he gave was that he said making a film like this is like being a chef, and the difference is when you're a chef for cinema, the best version is that the audience leaves just slightly hungry. He says if you
Mm.
make them feel full, they won't be happy, right? He says they've got to leave a little hungry. So it's like take a few things out, hide a few things, like leave a little bit more to the imagination. And he's right. It's like, you think as a filmmaker you're supposed to make everyone happy, but I don't think that makes the best movies. I think like, when I see these sort of films in the original Jurassic Park, as soon as you get to the end, you want to join the queue and get back in and see it again
Yeah.
because you're not, you just want to get that experience again. And so it was really good advice, I think.